Alright guys, Mr. Healy coming to you live from room 197, Jonathan Law. This video part 2 about To Kill a Mockingbird. Hopefully this gives you some information if you missed it in class, if you guys were sleeping or whatnot. Don't sleep on this video. Here we go. This is what we covered in class today. How to write a good paragraph. We'll be going over this a lot in the coming weeks, and in fact, until you guys graduate college will you be learning how to do this stuff. First thing we want to start with is a good topic sentence. What is the paragraph about? That's what the topic sentence should tell you. Okay? Second, we want to lead into our quote. Give me some context. Think of the questions: who, what, when, why. Okay, that will help you give a good lead into your quote. Then you want to pick a quote from the book and use it as your evidence. Finally, you want to explain how your quote proves your idea from the topic sentence. Let me give you a good example that we had in class today. I won't tell you who wrote it, you can find out tomorrow. The paragraph reads, in To Kill a Mockingbird, social injustice is highly used, mostly racism. During the trial scene, Scout says, all the little man on the witness stand had that made him better than his nearest neighbors was that if scrubbed with lye soap in very hot water, his skin was white. Scout says this because the Ewells are not popular in town and live further away from the center of town than the black people, yet are only believed by the town because his skin is white. The author of this has a decent topic sentence where she talks about social injustice. She cites the quote well, and she goes on to explain her quote and say the only reason people believe Mr. Ewell is because his skin is white. It's a really good paragraph. There's some things to work on here, but overall I think this is a good example of what I'm looking for. Alright, now let's also go on to our talk about the evidence from the trial. The trial is the biggest scene in the book, the most important scene rather, so I really want to focus on this and make sure we get this down. The first witness is Heck Tate. How am I looking, cameraman? Am I in position? Good? Alright. First witness is Heck Tate. The facts we get from Heck Tate are 4 things. He did not call a doctor. Mayella has bruises on her right side. She also has bruises all the way around her neck and on both of her arms. Here's what we can take away or imply from those facts. Without having a doctor called, you have no actual evidence of rape. If there's bruises on her right side, that implies that the assailant was a lefty. And then bruises on both arms and both sides of the neck means the person must have used both of their hands. And we know that Tom Robinson only has the use of one of his hands. Now, moving on to that bantam cock of a man, Bob Ewell. He also agrees that there was no doctor called. And this adds a little bit of evidence or implication that he doesn't care that much about Mayella. And also the fact that he might have something to hide. Second, he agrees with everything Tate says about the bruises. This implies that the man who did it, once again, was a lefty. And then third, when Atticus asks him to write his name, he does so to show the court that he's left-handed. If he's a lefty, he may be the one that beat Mayella. Alright, moving on to chapter 25, which you should read tonight. Here are some quick hits of what to look for in this chapter. We have the aftermath of Tom's death. Remember, Tom was shot trying to escape from jail. We talked about that in my last video. We have Bob Ewell making threats, right? He specifically says, 1 down, 2 to go. I'll leave you to wonder who those 2 are. Could it be Judge Taylor, Atticus, Tom's widow? The one, of course, is Tom Robinson getting killed. So, look for those threats. Look for the aftermath of Tom's death. And we'll talk about it tomorrow. See you then, guys. Peace.